Why are you so distracted? Hello, everyone, and welcome to my channel. My name is Oluwadara Salt, and in today's video, I'm going to be opening our eyes to what I think everybody needs to hear. If you are new here, you're welcome to the channel. Please ensure you subscribe, like the video, share the video, and if you are a returning subscriber, how do you do? You're welcome back, fam. All right, without further ado, let's get into what we have for today. I personally think one of the greatest mistakes that I have made in my life is to think that so many people care about how I'm doing. Growing up, before I did anything, the question would be, what would people say? What would people think? Truth is, people are not thinking about you. Get out of your head. Nobody cares. Please bear that in mind. When you stop thinking about what people think about you, then you're able to focus more on yourself and you're able to thrive in the way that God wants you to thrive. Listen, your concern for what people think is draining you, is keeping you back, is holding you back, is preventing you from making the kind of success that you're supposed to make. You're supposed to be thriving. You're supposed to be focused on yourself, focused on the dream that God has placed in your heart, focused on building yourself, understanding that your life is a gift to people. When God puts something in your heart or God blesses you with something, I want you to understand that He's putting it there for you to be a blessing to others. God doesn't want you sitting around and asking what people think. No, He doesn't. You should learn to focus on God. The question shouldn't be what will people think? It should be what will God think? What does God say about this? What does God think about this? Is this what God wants me to do? Am I in the place where God wants me to be? Am I doing what I'm supposed to be doing? Not what people will think about what you do. Because people are busy living their lives. Someone is saying, "Oh, Salt, don't say that. We have enemies, we have people who don't want us to succeed. We have people who don't want." Yes, you do. But why are you focused on them? Why are you focused on the enemy? Why are you focused on people who don't want you to progress? Why are you so distracted? You're Peter walking on water. Jesus is standing before you and you're worrying about the storm. I'm not saying that there are no persons who don't want you to succeed or who really would come up and say, who do you think you are? Why do you think you can do this? Why do you think you can succeed? Why do you think you can thrive? And why do you think you can make headway? Nehemiah had it. Nehemiah was even a successful person. When he came around, people attacked him. All right, so there'll always be people who would say, who do you think you are? What makes you think you can do this? Are you better than us? Like Joseph, his brothers were annoyed when he shared his dreams. But my point here is, do not be so focused on them. Don't be people focused. The one you should focus on is God, because He's the one you're reporting to. He's the one that is going to ask you about what you did with what He gave you. He gave you talents. Remember the parable of the talents? He gave some five, some two, and then the ones that had the larger numbers did something with theirs. But the one that had one did nothing. Why? He was afraid of what people would say. He was afraid of people. He said, I know that you're not a straightforward person. You reap what you do not sow. And I was afraid that if I use this talent for something, I'm going to be caught. He was scared of what people would say. Don't be like that. Don't bury your talent. The guy that buried his talent, you know what happened to him? He was thrown out. I hope that's not you. I really do hope that that is not you. Don't be so drained by what people think. Do not be so drained by what you think people will say about you. It does not matter what people say. All that matters, is what God says about you. All that matters is what God thinks about you. All that matters is the approval of God. As long as you have been approved by God, it doesn't matter what other people may say. Stop focusing on people. Focus on God. Focus on yourself. Go after what God has called you to do. Do it with your energy. Do it with passion. Let it consume you. You report to one person, just one person. It's God. It's God. There's an adage in Yoruba that says, we're not scared of who we're going to deliver a message to, we're only scared of the person who sent us the message. Shift your gaze from what people think or what. Hello? No one cares. If you succeed today, they will talk. If you fail, they will talk. So please, please, this is just an admonishment to you to build yourself, focus on God, focus on what God wants you to do, and take up your own life. Hmm? Take up your own life and walk in the full potential that God has deposited into you. Cultivate the things that God has deposited into you. Walk in the fullness of the potential that God has placed in you. Let it move from potential to reality. Let it move from potential to value. Let it move from potential to greatness. Hear this word and work towards it. Be strong and courageous. When God called Joshua to do stuff, he encouraged him 3 times. It may be hard, it may be difficult, but you just have to do it. Regardless of how tough it is, regardless of how hard it is, you just have to do it. And if you've been praying for a sign from God to know if you're supposed to take a step, take this as your sign. I'm your sign. I'm your sign. Walk in the fullness of what God has called you to do. I hope this has blessed you, and I really hope that you're able to understand this to the fullest. I pray that God gives you understanding and that your eyes are open to see what God wants you to do. And I pray that you're bold enough to take the steps to do what God wants you to do. Thank you so much for staying tuned till this very moment. If this video blessed you, please do not hesitate to like the video, share the video, comment in the comment section down below, and subscribe to the channel if you are not subscribed to the channel. All right. Thank you so much and have a blessed time. Bye.